Welcome everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy, the CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert, and it is once again Tea Time Tuesday with Chala, and I am doing this live. This is my fourth live today, you guys. I am on overdrive. I did 2 StreamYard live interviews in this group, the B2B CEO Society, with 2 guests, and this is all leading up, of course, to the bootcamp, the B2B elevator pitch bootcamp on July the 13th, where around this time of night, you're gonna see me for a week, a straight week, sharing all the wisdom and everything that I know about how to get the attention of buyers. So today's talk is about a very interesting opportunity that I had yesterday, where I was part of a procurement, an online procurement, and I can't say the name of the company, but it was a very large consumer packaged goods company with multiple household brands of health and beauty. And the opportunity that I was asked to, to critique and to supervise and to help with was a pitch competition. And it was 10 women business owners who were hand selected by We Connect International, which is a certifying governing body of women business owners who are 51% woman owned. And they were introducing these select suppliers to this large corporation. And this corporation had asked for a pitch coach, me, to help these women to prepare and then to debrief them on the experience and on their pitches afterwards. So what was really interesting is that I got to be the fly on the wall and got to watch these pitches, and I got to hear the questions of the buyers and to see how the buyers have reacted to these pitches. And I have to tell you that they confirmed everything that I've been teaching, everything that I've been saying, and I felt so good about what I've been teaching because I've been sitting in their shoes for 18 years when I worked for Pepsi, Pizza Hut, and Frito-Lay, and I purchased services, and I must have heard thousands of pitches from every size of vendor and every different level of professionalism from every corner of the world. And so what I'd like to do is I've made sort of some points along to educate those of you who are selling to buyers and corporations about what they said and what conclusions I made as a result of what I saw. So the first thing that I saw is, even though in my training I told the ladies, you have to talk about an extreme specialty. You have to talk about just one thing. Don't throw the kitchen sink at them. Don't list a whole bunch of, and by the way, this is specifically, it was for creative services and agencies and digital agencies and video agencies and everything that you can imagine that has to do with marketing. So the thing that I had advised the ladies, the vendors, was please, just pick one thing to talk about. Just make sure that you show yourself as a specialist in something that they're suffering from. Go do their research, count the shelves where they're at in the supermarket if you have to, look at their brands. And these women were from all over the world, some from Latin America, some from Europe. So it was a really international, it's called We Connect International, right? So that's, and then one was from Quebec, so that Canadians are also included. So here's the point: no matter what you say, the buyers still want a specialty, because here's what happened. When these women, the ones that didn't listen to me or they didn't come to the training, threw everything but the kitchen sink and said, we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that, we help this, we help that. They literally did this whole spiel, and what ended up happening is that the buyers would just pick on just one thing that interested them that was very different than everybody else who was there, and everybody else what they were saying. They just picked on one interest. So for example, one of them was on video stories. So testimonial stories, how they turn the testimonials of consumers into marketing collateral. That was one specialty that they just picked out, and they reached out and they wanted to hear more about that, even though, you know, the pitch may have contained way more than that. So that's the first lesson that I learned, is no matter what you say, buyers still want a specialty. So why not start with a specialty and talk about a specialty rather than listing everything that you can do? So number 2 was they hone in on the one thing that you can help with anyway. So why not do the research to figure out what they need so that you look like a superstar before you go in? And the other thing that I learned in line with this is there was one of the vendors, and we had our debrief this morning with her. She blew me away, and she could barely speak English, you guys. She couldn't even I couldn't really even understand what she was saying. She needed subtitles. And she had such a thick accent, and she was so nervous. But in my opinion, she was the hands down winner of that pitch contest, because here's how she started. She listened to everything that I told her to do in the brief. She started the presentation with a screenshot. She shared her screen on Zoom with a screenshot of their product. So she opened it, and what her business did was they increased sales online for major brands that were listed like on places like Amazon, and in her country it was like Amazon. It wasn't Amazon. And then they started the whole focus started with the client, and this pitch was not even about them. It was when they talked about themselves, it was within context of how they helped and how they would help increase the sale of this, let's say, diaper brand that was on the screen. And she did such a phenomenal job, and she said she got so many questions. I haven't been able to watch her video yet, but she said she did so well, and in my opinion, that was the winner. I don't care. And here's the lesson: it doesn't matter if you can't even speak the language, as long as your presentation is about their pain, and you can just through even examples show them how you've helped that same pain, how you've solved it. And she showed a similar product that they helped increase, and she showed how they helped increase the sales online for that exact brand. So then, so that was my point, is they love to hear about themselves. So the first point was, no matter what you say, buyers still want a specialty. Even if you say you do 10 things, they still just want to hear about the one thing. Number 2 was, buyers hone in on the one thing that you can help them with. So again, it's all about focus, and if you can figure that out before they have to, do the hard work and the heavy lifting to figure out how you can fit in, you should do that work for them. And then the third is, they love to hear about themselves. And if your opener, when you're doing an elevator pitch, the first thing that comes out of your mouth, they're the most focused in the first 7 seconds. And if you're not converting them, and you're not talking about them in those 7 seconds, and you waste that time by talking about how many employees you have and where you're located, nobody cares. They only care about their own problem. And then the fourth was, I really saw by the power of what this woman did, that even language is not a barrier. So for those of you who feel like this is a huge barrier for you, and I've had clients that have had came from different countries, they were immigrants, and they felt that they couldn't do videos, they couldn't do marketing, they couldn't do pitches and selling. It's not true. It's all stories in your head. And this woman, she put herself out there, and she did what I told her, and to me, she was like a rock star. And by the way that people responded to her, the buyers, the questions she got, the number of interest, the number of buyers that were interested in her, definitely confirmed what I was thinking. And then the last point is really all about focus, focus, focus. If you can focus what you do and your message around their pain, and own a specialty around that one pain that you can solve for them, for your prospect, that is by far the most effective message than 50 more interesting stories you can tell about yourself, your company, any other projects you've done. They have to relate back to the client. I can't tell you the number of times those thousands of pitches and presentations that I got from even some of the biggest agencies in the world, some of the biggest vendors in the world, had nothing to do with me or my brand problems. They had to do with them and their projects and their awards, and I couldn't care less. It matters to me if your award was solving, you got that award by solving a problem that I'm facing today. Does that make sense, everyone? So imagine yourself, put yourself into the buyer's shoes and think about what you would be looking for in a vendor and what kind of solutions you'd be looking for, because what kind of problems are you facing in the market? And if it's a product, go count the shelves in the stores. If it's a service, go talk to other people in the industry or their other vendors, or talk to some of their customers so that you can have a perspective on what they need. Because if you go to them saying you could do it all, you're a generalist and you're not gonna make any inroads. So I'm really excited to be talking about how to find that niche and how to find the actual sweet spot of the pain point that you're gonna resolve in your business, and especially in your elevator pitch, in the Elevator Pitch Bootcamp coming up on July the 13th. If you have not signed up, go ahead and go to www.repositioner.com/bootcamp. And if you're in this group, please make sure that you are signed up for our ManyChat app, which is a feature where we're going to be able to talk to you and send you your homework throughout the 7 days that we'll be in touch with you or that we'll be doing the training. And it's a way that you'll be able to talk to us. And the other thing that I want to ask you to do is please check your direct messages. Facebook has a direct message ability. It has a direct message app, and in your Facebook page, it's a little square, it's a little circle with a wiggle inside of it on the top right-hand corner. If you've never used it, go ahead and press it. Crystal, who is my right-hand woman, has already sent you something, and I may have already sent you something. I'm reaching out to people to interview them. I'm reaching out to people to connect with them, to hop on a call with them and to get to know them better, but I can't reach you if you are not checking your messages and your direct messages and that DM box. So I'm so happy that you joined me, and whether you're watching this live or as a replay, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the community. It's going to be growing by leaps and bounds. I've done so many podcasts this month, and I'm slated to do even more, and I'm doing so much online networking that all the funnels lead to here, guys. You're gonna have so many other B2B CEOs to network with and to collaborate with and to joint venture with, that I am so happy to have this group. And this is the way forward for all of us. It's our community, and let us know if you have any topics that you want for Tuesday Tea with Chala, or any other topics for any lives, or if you want me to have a specific content for the bonus section of the elevator pitches training. All right, guys, all the best. That's it from me. Bye-bye.